Good morning, everybody. I'm painting peppers today, friends. And then possibly painting flowers as well. We'll kind of see how that goes. Is this big enough? Let's see. Yeah, I think this is big enough. We can work with this. Good morning, Cindy. And we're going to be working with peppers today. So here's my inspiration. I'm just going to take a look at some of these guys. I did something like this recently. I was thinking more multicolored though. Maybe I start green and then go from there. Let's try it. Let's do this. I would like to do something like this with the cross section. So I think that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to work small today though, so my brushes are not going to be very large. I am using my Bao Huang pad. This is my, I think this is my 5x7, yeah, or my 7x5. 100% water, or 100, I keep saying 100% watercolor paper. 100% cotton, and it is cold press. The paints I'm using today are my Maiden palette. So I'll move those guys right up to the top of my shopping list if you're interested. Pen, that's my paper. The paper is the most important part of this whole process. I'm also going to move up the paints since I am working with them as well. So the paint is number 15. The paper is number 18. So 15 and 18. All right. But good morning, good morning. We're painting peppers today. Gotta use my greens. My favorite color in the whole world. Though blue does come in a close second. I do love me some blues. All right, we're gonna go in super light on this pepper to start. I may just do the greens on this today, at least to kind of warm up. I didn't paint it all yesterday, so I'm feeling a little bit rusty. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go in here. I'm gonna outline really lightly the pepper that I'm gonna be painting today. So it's kind of like an underpainting, I guess you could call it. And then I'll fill in with water as I go. So I get this. So this paint is not very heavy. The brushes I'm using today are Christy the Painter brushes. Just gonna pull this down, around, and up, like that. And then to maintain some of this composition, I'm gonna do the outline of the other pepper over here as well. So this one's gonna come up this way. This is gonna be a full one. I'm not going to do a side slice on this one. I am just gonna do the outlines that I know are gonna have some 3D potential impact on whatever it is I'm doing. I do have a reference over here on the side. I'm just using an image of a pepper as I go, and I'm kind of creating the outlines based on that. So I don't really do this off like my own brain, thinking and remembering all of the parts. I can only do that with certain flowers. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, Rebecca. Don't forget to send me those hearts or join my fan club. Those hearts do everything for content creators, not just for me, but for content creators who are on this app trying to get attention from TikTok. I'm going to pull that stem down this way. And then we'll build up some little pepper baubles around the edges over here. So this way here. Yes, love it, Cindy. Love it, Rebecca. Yep, it's so therapeutic. I mean, Rebecca. Yep, it's so therapeutic. I mean, other that I don't need a reference for. Like, I can paint peonies. I can paint them all the time, but it's because I paint them a lot and they're comfortable for me, right? But I would, I think that at some point we have to recognize that most artists aren't doing this from their brains. Most artists are using some sort of reference. Let's do some pepper slices too. So these will just be a few of those. And we're just doing an outline here. And we'll play with values and colors as I get this kind of this composition sketch out, okay? But I'm happy to have you here, Fab Crafts. Thanks for coming. Do you draw outlines with watercolor only? I'm trying to step away from the pre-sketch part. So here's what I will say. I think there's value in sketching. I think there's a lot of value in sketching. But I'm often working on a clock, and I'm trying to work quickly enough that I can get in, do some painting, and feel good about that, and then also feel done. So I learned how to paint without sketching. I use my paintbrush as my sketching tool, and with watercolor you can move a lot of things around. So I kind of like that about it, but it doesn't work every time. Tap, 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 my friend. Hello, Heidi. Sketching with watercolor pencils is a great idea. Honestly, I feel like that's the only purpose for watercolor pencils in my own personal practice. I don't think they're pigmented enough for my mixed media style, but I think there are a lot of people who do that. They like to use the watercolor pencils for their sketching purposes. Let's build this up just a little bit to give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. I'm trying to decide what to do next. I'm going to make another slice, I think. And we'll just have this one kind of tucked underneath this one. And we'll have this one maybe curling up a little bit more. Like that. And then we'll do another slice here. Okay, so I think this is my pre-sketch. Sure, no problem. Is it Cabrinil? Do these pressed paints work as well as the tubed paints? Yes. Yes, they absolutely do. This is a great set. Tube paints are generally more expensive. They last forever. The only difference here is that there's not as much paint in the square pans as you would get in a tube. So the tube comes with more. You're really paying for more paint when you're buying a tube, but the tubes last a very long time. But the tubes are very expensive. So I think I was shopping the other day. I was looking at Daniel Smith, and the 5 millimeter or milliliters are anywhere from $15 to $17. Yesterday, that's what I saw. Maybe 12, depending on the color. But then the 15 milliliter ones are like $25 to $30 in some cases for just one tube. One tube of paint. This whole thing is like $20, maybe $30 at the most. Which, again, you got a lot more colors. But, I mean, the problem that I would have with this only is that I use this green all the time, and I know I'm going to run out of it, and I love it so much. So I might have to check in with Meeden and see if they can give me some tubes. I know they have them, but I don't know if they sell them individually, and that's kind of frustrating. Decade old and tube and still going. They are expensive, but they do last forever. I do think that watercolor is the most affordable of all of the arts because there's just so much longevity in the paints. I'm working on seeds right now, just so if everybody knows. I'm just adding in that little seed center, and I'm doing it kind of like in a negative paint way where I'm adding them and then painting around them. Like that. And then I might highlight them a little bit more as I build this up. But I do really love this effect. My friend Chelsea does a really good job with this in her own paintings. We'll add some in here too, I think. But thanks for being here, everybody. I'm so excited because I'm so close to hitting 10K. And I'm actually going to do a giveaway with Meeden the closer we get to that. So feel free to share this live. I've already talked to them. They've already sent, stuff is on the way for me to send to winners when I start my giveaway. I would imagine, I'm hoping to hit 10K in probably the next week or so. So maybe by next week, maybe by the end of this week if things go even quicker. Notice how I'm leaving a lot of empty space in here as I go. I do that so I can build in layers and colors later. Also for value purposes, it kind of helps me to pay attention to where everything is. Like I know in here it's going to get a lot darker. I also don't want to go too hard on my paintings when I'm working because the value of watercolor is the transparency. And sometimes if you go in too hard, you lose the whole goal of the watercolor to begin with. So I'm just going in real light. This is like a first layer. Definitely want this to be a little bit darker in here. Which that's the wet on wet technique when you add paint to already pre-wet sections of your page. I do think this is going to be pretty dark in here too, right underneath these seeds. I will be back tonight. Chelsea and I will be doing a tutorial at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a surprise. Neither one of us know what the other is painting. So that'll be fun. Thanks for the rose. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of work. Meeden is honestly, Joey, been absolutely delightful to work with. They're so kind and so helpful. And I've only had the best experience interacting with them and communicating with them. But I would say you're probably like my giveaway is going to have close to, because I'm going to also include a painting, one of my paintings in my giveaway. But we're talking about probably just in Meeden Art Supplies, $40, $50 worth of Meeden Art Supplies that they're giving away through my 10K celebration, which is just amazing, you know? Leaving white space is probably the hardest part of all watercolor because so much of it is you need to learn like what's a heavy hand and what isn't. What does watercolor look like when it's dried? Hi, Chanster. And I think that doesn't come naturally. I think that comes with practice and putting the paint down on the page and playing and figuring it all out. Like, it depends on the paper you're working on. It depends on the paint that you have in front of you. All those things have an impact over how light your painting can be. Plus preference. What you consider light and transparent, I might consider heavy. I do think that that's a big part of it too. Oh, yay, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Heidi. Heidi's the best. I wish I could say the same. I ordered 2 things and I had stuff missing and the other was broken. From Meeden? Sweaty Rachel, you had that happen from Meeden? That's crazy. Did you reach out to them? They're usually pretty good about getting back to me. Very rarely have they not gotten back to me about something. I just realized I didn't really fill out that stem yet. I need to get up there and do that. What did you order from Meeden? I'm curious. Let's see. The giveaway will probably be next week. Yeah, I understand. I would be wary too. I would be wary too. What did you order exactly? Like what was broken? I also wonder too, depending on like, you know, how it's being handled, like how it's being shipped, like where specifically is it coming from? What part of the country? Unfortunately, sometimes that can impact things. I've not had a bad experience with their brushes or their paper or their paints. This pepper is turning out pretty good. A set of brushes in a storage box. You don't need more art supplies, Janster, but you definitely want to hang out with my giveaway because I think it's going to be brushes and paper, which the paper alone, in my mind, is going to be the big win there because their paper is fabulous. One of the box drawers fully detached when I picked it up. Good to hear others had better. Furniture's tough though. Like I generally don't buy furniture. I don't know. I usually go super cheap on the furniture. Like I usually go to Walmart or something, or I even go to Temu and get something that I know may or like I'm not holding a lot of stock in what's coming to me and hoping that it's just, good enough, I guess. And maybe that's a me thing, I think. But well, I hope that like any future experiences that you have with them, should you choose to have any more, I hope that they're much better for you. I will say this paper is Bauhong. Meeden sells it for them, and they make it in the same production facility, I believe. But this paper is actually not the Meeden. I'm actually out of my Meeden paper at this point. So, though I do feel like it's pretty darn similar. Let's add some tone in here. I'm still going in wet on wet for this. You have their tiny paper pads and you love them. Have the rest of you seen them? These little tiny watercolor cotton paper pads. I actually have been motivated to try and paint tiny more. I just haven't. Like you get so stuck in like the thing that feels comfortable for you, and then you just don't do the other thing that you think about doing, like landscapes and stuff. Like some people are amazing landscape artists, and sometimes I wish I could be, but I'm just not motivated to like move away from what I spend all my hard time and energy on, Me too. I don't want to overdo it. I do want to darken up some areas, but I'm thinking maybe I just need to um, leave some of those spaces a little bit more. You know who this kind of reminds me of, an artist named Omar Wynn. She does a lot of really like very loose like this botanical art, and it kind of reminds me of that. Janster, I think you're right. I think I need to kind of like walk away from this for a sec and then come in and maybe add more once it's dried. But leaving some of this white space could be... I do want to add a little bit of yellow though. Just give me a sec. Because this is all really just one color right now. I'm actually thinking of using my oil pastels with this today because I haven't used them in a while, and I do really love them. And it's easier to use oil pastels when you're working on a flat paper pad because you don't have to worry about anything closing on top of it. It is. This is also my favorite color in the palette. This green, this sap green color is definitely my favorite of all of the colors in the palette. Though you can see which ones are my favorites. Like there's the yellow. I use that one all the time, that lemon yellow. Honestly, I use the lemon yellow as a base for a lot of my botanicals, whether I'm doing blueberries or strawberries or flowers. I almost always use a little bit of a yellow as a light value base. And then obviously that green, I use that one all the time. I use the white a lot too. I like the white is kind of, how should I say? I think it adds a bit of a creamy texture in some of these cases where instead of just using the water, I really kind of like using it for that purpose as well. All right. I think Janster's right. I think I need to kind of put it aside for a minute and just let that dry. But so far, so good. All right. Let's do another pepper. Since I said we'll do peppers today. It's going to be a different, let's see. No, I'm going to use a bigger paper while I let that green one dry. Ugh. So I drop all of my stuff everywhere. Maybe not. Hold on. Oh, here we go. This one. This is also Bauhong. They just have a different packaging on it. Would you sell any of your paintings you have done on your lives? I absolutely would. Just DM me about that. I stopped selling some of my paintings on my Etsy because they just don't move fast enough and I'm paying for it there. But if you're interested and you want to use PayPal or Venmo or something, we can talk. Most of my originals that I paint on TikToks are generally between, like, depending on the size, usually $25 to $40 for an original. But just reach out to me. The smaller the painting, the cheaper the price. The bigger the painting, the more expensive. Obviously, the longer it takes me, the more expensive it would be. But I don't usually take too long on most of these. So if that answers your question. Yeah, you can DM me here, Cindy. I really had good luck with Maiden. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. Unfortunately, like no company's going to get it right all the time. I don't get it right all the time when I paint. So I don't think everyone's going to get it right all the time. And as long as they gave you your money back, I think ultimately it's just unfortunate because you get so excited about things, you know? I know I do. Like I get excited about things, then something shows up and I'm like, oh, well, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a different type of pepper. I'm not going to do a bell pepper this time. Maybe a chili pepper. And I've never painted one of those before, so let's see how that goes. My husband's been growing peppers and stuff in the backyard, and they're coming out so beautifully. All right, so here's some of my inspiration. Again, just Google. Google doing its best to give me some ideas. Kind of like this set here. The lighting on that's a little interesting, so I'm going to have to pay attention to that. There's this one, just a simple one, like right across the top. Let's start with that one, and then we'll kind of go from there. For that one, I'm going to start, because it's already got the lighting in it, I'm going to start with a peach color and create kind of the shape again. So just doing an outline. And then pulling it down this way. Okay. Yeah, this is my first time doing chili peppers. Can you believe it? All right, let's just spread this out a little bit with some water. I'll leave this part open. I'm not going to put any paint in there yet. I might later, but let's just leave a few open spaces. We're just taking the outline of our painting and just spreading the paint out a little bit. And just letting a little bit of wet on wet technique happen there. And then while that's spreading and drying, I'm going to do something with that little top stem. This will not stay orange. It will build up into a red color. Okay. I wish you made patches for bags. The watercolor stickers are amazing. Which ones are you talking about? Are you talking about which watercolor stickers? Are you talking about the ones that I had in my shop? My Etsy shop? I mean, I can look into it. I'm not against it. You're talking about like the ones that you sew on? Okay. I'll look into that, Parker. I can definitely do that. I just honestly, I don't know how many people actually use them. I love my stickers. I think my stickers have turned out really good. I got some really good Halloween ones this year that I feel really good about, that I actually painted last year in 2024. And I got some spiders and pumpkins and stuff that turned out super cute. Hi, Angelica. Hello, Emma. Welcome. This particular brush is the Kristi Dagger brush set. Let me go ahead and push that out for you. It's number 11 in my shop. The Kristi Dagger brush collection is what made me fall in love with dagger brushes to begin with. It comes with 5 separate brushes, 5 separate heads. The one that I have here is a dagger. There's another dagger. She's got a couple of collections. I'm not sure which one this one is. I think both of these brushes are in that collection. Actually, this one is, and then this one is also in that. But if you look in her shop, she might have a couple of different collections. She usually has like 2 or 3 collections at the same time. But what's nice is that she gives you different heads to work with. And Kristi, the artist who is the seller of these brushes, is honestly the most fabulous person ever. If you go on YouTube and follow her, she does a lot of lives over there. And she's just lovely and just a real, you know, honest to goodness human you would want to be friends with and know in real life. So I'm a big fan of her brushes. And in fact, it is what made me fall in love with dagger brushes to begin with. I love a tip. I love that pointy tip. And I love the fact that like I can create really beautiful shapes along with that as well. Yeah, her brushes are fabulous. The only thing I would say, and I'm not trying to, you know, it's not me trashing her. It's just I don't love her travel brushes. They have the brushes themselves aren't the problem. It's the base. It's this here. They're too loose and wobbly. And I got 2 sets from her, and they still were all loose and wobbly. So that was and I didn't really complain about it because I didn't want to be a pain. But just if you're going to get a set of hers, don't cheap out and get the travel sets. Like really legitimately get her actual sets because I think they're worth it. All right, so we've got our pepper happening here. I love the bleed here. That's really pretty. Let's see, what else can I do with this guy? I think he's going to definitely need more purples. And I think maybe I will fill some of this in, but maybe I'm going to wait until it's dried. Let me add some more purples up here, though. And it's not really purple. It's more like a red purple. So reds generally have a scale of orange to purple. So you'll find like the purpley reds and the orangey reds. I'm going to add some of that purple in here, I think, as well. I think we're going to lean into putting some of it on this side, maybe some of it over here. But more than anything, just have fun. Like, just play with color and see what happens and see what you like. Good morning, CJ. How are you, my friend? Okay. I'm going to add a bit more of that warm tone in here as well. I'm going to try and leave that line a little bit because I do like that. Just trying to blend in a little bit here and here. I really like how that's turning out. You found me, Angelica. Did he tell you about me? He only said good things, right? The stickers are in my Etsy shop. I don't have the Halloween ones up in there yet, though. Let me see if I can find them. Hold on. Oops. I just stepped on a painting. That's not good. One second here. I had a baggie full of my stickers, and I don't remember where they went because I had taken them to... They might be in the car. I'll show you another time. They're super cute. They're like $5 a sticker. I had them pre-printed somewhere else, but they're all my original illustrations. Angelica, it's so fun. It's honestly so fun. I think I need to add another pepper to this. One is too alone. It needs something else. Let's do one more here. Actually, let's do one with an open seed. That's really fun too. Let's see if I can pull that off. I love how I come up with these ideas in the middle of a live and I'm like, wait, can I actually do that? I'm not sure if I can actually do that. Well, we'll find out. Let's see. Chili pepper, cross section. There we go. Again, I'm just using some stock photos, like from Getty Images or wherever else, but then it gives me some ideas as to how to design it. I never really entirely copy it, but just general, like, what are the details I need to make sure I include? You currently work with stained glass, so big difference. Need to learn all the things. I've done stained glass before, and it was lovely, but it was like, I wanted to start doing it. I've taken a few stained glass classes. Let me just say that. I've taken a few stained glass classes, loved them, wanted to do it at home. And then the problem was my home is just not really appropriate for that. I have too many animals. I could not handle having all the glass everywhere with my kids. I just knew it was an accident waiting to happen. I thought about going into the basement and doing it. And then I was like, but I'm never going to want to like go down there. I'm not going to be motivated. But I have a bunch of like supplies from when I thought I was going to do glass art, because when you're an artist, you want to do all the things, right? You can do it. I'm certain you can do it. Okay, this is going to be the center. Let's give it a little bit of an outside here. This is going to be... I'm going to pull this guy up a little bit more. There we go. And pull him down here. And we'll curl him that way, so he's not completely tucked behind this guy. All right, and then let's just add some water here and some water here. Oop, that was a big flop of water right there. And then we'll start building up some more of that color and letting it spread with the water. And the inside of these tend to be more peachy white, and then the outside is more red. So that's what I'm kind of trying to build up here on this one. Yeah, this is watercolor paint, Apple. Cat burned whiskers with iron, so I moved it. Yeah. You have a school bus parked in my backyard. That's so smart. That's so smart. Good for you. I was making plant pots before I started making watercolor paint. You can do it. You absolutely can. You can do anything if you're putting the time in. I don't, I think there's always the most well-intended, kind people saying, you're so gifted, you're so talented. Well, maybe I'm more into doing this than other people would be, but I wasn't born with the ability to do this, right? I had to put in the time and the energy and the frustration and the wanting to give up and not sure if this was for me. I've done all of those things. And I think if you're motivated enough, if you have the time, I think anybody can do these things. I think anybody can do the things that we as artists do, and we make it accessible for people, Like, I think that's why we come on here and do these TikToks, is to make our work accessible to other people so that they know they can do it too. All right, let's add a little bit of seed bubbles in here. I think this is my favorite part of painting these little peppers, is adding these little like seed parts. They're just so fun. And let's give this guy his green little stemmy. That looks pretty good so far. Tap, tap, tap. Add those hearts. Heidi, do you love the Picasso? Isn't it so cute? Apple, the paint palette I'm using is the Meeden paint palette. It comes with 48 paints, and the paints they have like this full like palette you can mix your paints on over here if you get the 48 one. There are some that have 96, which means both sides are completely filled in. But this one's perfectly good if you're starting off and trying to figure all that stuff out. Is that my own sticker? No, I actually made it yesterday. I made it digitally yesterday, and I was like, this is really cute. You can show watercolor cards. I don't have watercolor cards. I do have the book. So I have this. I don't know if I missed that comment, and I don't have a huge amount of space here, but let me just move this over so you guys can see it. This is the watercolor book. I haven't actually like tested it out yet, but if you go inside, it gives you all the like technique glossary, which is pretty cool. And then the book itself is filled with her illustrations on watercolor paper, which you can paint in. I was actually hoping to try and do that today. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. Look how gorgeous. And the funny part is, she's not really a drawer. If you watch her live, she paints like I do. She doesn't go in with a sketch. She just throws paint down and then like it mixes and does magic with it. It's incredible. But this is going to be really fun for anyone who's not comfortable sketching to just go in and paint. Admittedly, I have not tried this at all. I recently purchased it. So I'm excited to try. I'm actually thinking about trying today, or maybe even tomorrow if I don't have time today. Today's kind of a busy day. I got to take the kitten to the vet today. I'm going out for lunch with a friend. It's just one of those busy kind of days, but I'm actually very legitimately excited. about playing with this book. She's got so many. And now that she's selling it even at my local art store, like I bought this one, I think for 20 bucks there. So I'm not even sure what the price is in my shop. I should probably check. I mean, that's probably pretty helpful. It's 30 in here with 15% off, it looks like. And then I don't know as far as shipping goes. Let's see. Shipping is $5 unless, and then free over 30, which that's totally reasonable. I mean, if you've seen the TikTok shop, you know how crazy the shipping can be depending on where it's coming from. So, all right, should I put one more with this? What do you guys think? Is this enough? I feel like there's this empty space here that I should fill in. What do you think? I think I need to have something down here, but I'm not sure what. Yeah, I was thinking too. No. I was absolutely thinking the same thing. Should it be another cross section, or should I just do another one and maybe like maybe warmer tones, or maybe something with a little bit of green in it? Let's try this. Let's do another one like this. Maybe I can curl it this way. We'll start with this peach again. Totally going on the fly here, guys. So if it looks terrible, I'm blaming No. I'm kidding. Okay, we'll have it come in this way. Kind of the same shape as the other ones. And then I'm just going to do it like this. I'm not going to do the cross section, I think, on this one. Just fold this in here. All right. I'm going to leave this space open. I'm going to add some reds, of course. We'll put that in here and let that kind of bleed. This is the best part right here, is when you're just dropping it in and watching it move. So satisfying. So satisfying. And then over here, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow, I think, with the impression that maybe it's still kind of growing, developing. We'll add a little bit in there too. Maybe over here as well, just to bring it together a little bit. And then maybe even a little green. My husband had one the other day that we ate. My daughter and I were munching on them. And they were a mix of green and red, and they were gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. There we go. Yeah, I think the green is a vibe for sure. I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. I want to get some more of that purpley red in here too, though. I don't want to lose that aspect. I do think that's important. Probably in here. Definitely need to darken that up over there. I also want to come in here. I need to come in here to this pepper and build up some of the dark underneath as well. Around those little seed areas that I was doing. It looks so good, right? I'm very impressed with myself. So I did try doing a chili pepper once, and it was a giant fail, and I kind of gave up on it and just put it aside. So the fact that I'm doing this now, I feel pretty good about. It's nice. It's nice to kind of come back and be like, okay, I can do that. That's not the worst. Let's give it its little nub up here. Oh, Ziggy, I adore you. You know that. I adore you. I'm always impressed by you too. All right, let's come in here. We'll add some more red, but we're not going as dark on that, okay? Honestly, guys, I think the most painting I get done in a day is when I'm live with you. Because I'm so busy doing all of the other things, like posting the content running around with my family, doing the things I'm required to do as a mom. You know what I mean? So like it's literally sitting here, like even tonight, excuse me, I'm supposed to paint with Chelsea and we're doing tutorials. And part of the reason why I don't know, or I'm not telling you what we're painting and I haven't told her what we're painting yet for the tutorial tonight, is because I haven't entirely figured it out. We'd talked and then I tried it and I was like, it's not turning out the way I want it to, but we still want to do it. So I think there's going to be, like when I'm done with you guys, I'm going to try and figure out what the heck I'm painting tonight for that live. I still think we're going to stick with sea creatures or some sort of water creature. But still not fully committed to what that's going to be yet. So I hope you come and hang out and laugh at, you know, what we end up doing. Her stuff always ends up being amazing anyways. She's got such a great accessible style. Sometimes I think my sketching is too busy. How dare you, CJ? How dare you? I try. I'm not going to be able, there's no way I'm going to be able to put out this much content in a couple weeks because I'm going back to work. I'm a teacher. I work, I'm a 6th grade math teacher. And obviously that needs to be my priority when September comes. So honestly, I don't even know how I do it. Like some days I'm like, how am I, somebody asked me, they're like, how do you create all this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I think I put a lot of my focus here on TikTok. And then I use it to push it out to other platforms. And then, you know, hope from there that it's suitable and that people over there will like it too. But, all right, I think I need to stop. Your snail? What do you mean? Your snail was great. Your snail was fabulous. Don't even. All right. I don't need to add any more paint to this. I need to put this on the side and not touch it for a little bit. Let's look at these green peppers and see what we need to do, if anything. These look pretty good, actually. Oh yeah, I genuinely, obviously, I wouldn't be on here talking about how I paint things and explaining all of that if I did not actually enjoy teaching, and I really do genuinely enjoy it. I'm going to add a few mixed materials over the top of this thing. And my mixed materials today will be these crayons, probably, maybe just the crayons. These are iCrayon products, which are fun. I like dry watercolor mixed media over the top. You can use watercolor pencils, but they're not as strongly pigmented, and these are very fun. They're very similar to the other company that I shall not name for fear of them coming back at me, but they're all very good crayons, these watercolor soluble crayons. Let me see if I can find one. They're all snapped and broken, but they're loved. So let me see. These ones are the Neo 2s that are the more popular ones, the more well-known ones, but these are really expensive. The ones that I have here, these iCrayons, are much cheaper and honestly just as effective. So I'm just going to grab a few colors. I like to add a surprise color here and there, so I'll definitely add some green to lighten up. This is just like the satisfying part for me. I like adding these extra pops of color. I like going in and feeling like a kid again, where I get to color. I know it changes up the dynamic, and for some people that's not, they don't like, they prefer just the watercolor. But for me, to keep doing this, to want to keep coming back, I need this. It's almost like mandatory. Let's see. Let's go in with some yellow, I think. Brighten that up a little bit more. See how much warmth that just brings right in? And you don't need to put it everywhere. But it just adds this, I don't know, this intentional like pop of color that gives it, I don't know, more like not even a 3D effect, but more of like, I'm thinking more of a whimsical vibe, if that makes sense. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, K-Love. All right, let's come in here. I've got this little squiggly thing happening up here. I'm going to work that out with, is this green? I think this is green. This one's malachite green. It's a little bit of a bluer green, but that's okay. I can work that in around. It's kind of like a shadow effect. Also going to color in some of these white spots. I won't color in all the white spots, but I will color in some. I also like using these mixed media tools because there are going to be times as an artist where you mess up and you worry that you can't fix the thing that you messed up. And you can fix it. You can cover it up with mixed media stuff. Watercolor is very good about letting you lift some of that pigment off the page, which is always really fun. All right, let's do a surprise color. Let's do a little bit of pink. I love adding pink onto botanicals that don't look like they should have them. Again, it's that whimsy that I think it adds. And it doesn't have to be strong pink. Like you could do opera pink too, but I just love that little bit of pink color. I just think it adds something to it. This is so cute. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Let me grab my pencil here just to sharpen up some of the structure and put it back into the piece. And then we'll go back to those red chili peppers in a minute. I think my cat may have ruined my pencil sharpener here. She like popped it right out. Let's have a gun. All right, hold on. All of the products that are available in my shop are generally what I use on a regular basis. So if you look at the shopping cart in this live, you should see a lot of the materials that I use in there. I try and pin the ones that I'm using at the moment during the live. Like I try and be on top of that. I can't be all the time. Some of the supplies that I have, like right now, this pencil that I'm using, it's not available in TikTok, so you'd have to go shopping elsewhere. I honestly should update my Amazon cart thingy, but I just keep forgetting. There's only so many hours in a day. And as many of you know, I crochet too, so that also takes up my time. One of the place where I send some of my art to be sold, they contacted me today and they're like, you know, if you're interested, instead of us charging you to host a class, which they don't charge me a significant amount, they're like, we would offer to not charge you for the classes that you offer if you'd be willing to come like once a month and work in our studio and help sell product. And I'm like, that's a lovely idea, and I appreciate you for even thinking of me, but I think my family would kill me if I committed to one more art thing, you know? You just did a quick one of the peppers? Oh, yay! I'm going to grab, see if I can find it, though. Cat has a habit of knocking things off my table. I don't see it. Maybe I'll go in with a white crayon. I want to bring some seeds back out a little bit more. I feel like they got a little hidden in here in some of the dark areas, which, I mean, I can go ahead and draw in some extras, right? Like I can go in here and add them in, but I do want them to pop out just a little bit more. Oh, honey, I would never judge. Oh, yes, I would. I judge all the time, but never to your face. I'm kidding. I know I'm not kidding. I actually do judge all the time, but I do generally keep it to myself because no one needs to hear my opinion because most of the time my opinion doesn't matter anyways. All right. I'm going to sharpen this up too. Let me see if I can find this. I don't know if this white crayon is going to be enough. I might need to use the Bear crayon. Let's see. Let's see what happens in here. Maybe the yellow. I do need a personal assistant. I do. I mean, the impression is there, I guess. She'll judge you in her DMs with Chelsea. They talk about all of us. I actually don't, but we should more. And to be fair, we don't talk in DMs. We usually talk in our texts because we've been friends long enough that that's how we communicate with each other. Actually, what we do in our DMs is we send each other cute animal videos all day. And then in our texts, we're like, what are you painting? What is the plan? What are we doing tonight? Do I need to make an ad? That's usually the conversation she and I have. Or we send each other photos of our kids doing weird things or cute things. And then squee and say all the fun things about that. Okay. So I think this guy needs to be done. If I do anything else, I'm going to probably want to throw it out. It's not, I like it. I feel like I may have I don't know. I wanted those seeds to pop a little bit more than they do. I mean, I suppose I could keep going in here and just building this up in and around, but then it's like, you're overdoing it, Christine. Just leave it alone. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. But I do like it. And I especially like the blue and the pink in there. I think that's really cool. Okay. All right, all right. Let's see. We've got, let's see. So sad I missed most of this. It's Monday. It's okay, Jerry. I'm going to put this up in my feed or on my YouTube page. That's where I usually do put most of my content when I'm done here. So if you missed it, Jerry, it's totally fine. Like, it's not a big deal at all because it's not a big deal for me to post this. Like, it doesn't take a lot of work for me to come back in here and just download and then upload it to YouTube. As long as everyone's not mad at me for editing it down and making it look super spectacular and pretty, it's, you know, it's there for everybody when I'm done. All right, let's go in and add a few more crayon bite marks to this guy. Let's use some of this orange. It keeps rolling away. Let's see. We've got the orange. We're going to do some yellow. We'll do some red, maybe some purpley red. And then we'll do a little bit of green. I always like the light green colors. I feel like they just brighten everything up a little bit. Okay. So let's just add a little bit there and there and there, and maybe even a little bit down in here. We'll do, I'm going to sharpen this up because I feel like I lost out a little bit. I'm going to sharpen this up because I feel like I lost out a little bit. There we go. And then down in here. Just like the texture so much, especially on this paper. Anyone else feeling happy watching this? Aw, Snack Beast. That makes me happy to hear that. If you miss it, your name goes up on the wall of shame next to mine because I'm always late. He is always late. That's okay, though. Look, we all have lives. Like, I don't expect people to be here whenever I'm on. Like, you do what you can do. And if you can be here, I will be happy to have you. But we all have stuff to do. We all have things to, like, prioritize above, you know, our TikTok besties. We're all here for each other. And we all love each other. But I don't think any of us demand, except for CJ. CJ definitely demands that we all attend his lives. But besides CJ, just kidding. I think that we all understand that, you know, no one is making demands of anyone's time outside of TikTok. TikTok will always demand your time because that's how it makes its money. Okay. And a few more marks here. And then I think it's done. I think it's done. Did you say purple? Should I put purple on this? Should put purple on this now. Let's see, just a little bit of this like pastel-y purple. Why not? Let's see what happens. I like it. I think I even apologize to people when I share my live to them while I'm streaming. Yeah, it's awkward. I think most of us who are artists are generally more introverted. Like, we don't, you know, like, we like being at home. We don't like going out and pressuring ourselves to be in awkward situations. So to be on here and promoting ourselves is really hard. Like, that's not something that we are all naturally very good at. So I think the more we do it on here for ourselves, I think the better we are as content creators. But it takes some time. It takes some getting used to, for sure. All right. Oh, thanks, Starlight. I appreciate you. All right. I am going to get moving. I'm meeting my friend at 11:30, so I'm going to pull this guy off. And then I'll show you both. And then I have a vet appointment at 1 for the kitten. We're scheduling her her no baby surgery, so that'll be fun for her. The cone of shame and all of that. Have a great day, Snack Beast. And then tonight, well, I have to pick up my kids from camp and then I'll be back tonight. So look how cute these are. Look how cute these are. They turned out so good. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. Guys, always celebrate your art. Even if you're not in love with it, there's always something to celebrate. I love the colors that I added to both of these. Right? This is great kitchen art. I think that's why I like doing the veggies, because I don't think lots of people buy art because they don't know where to put it. But this kind of stuff, it's easy to imagine putting this like on, like around your window where you've got like the cabinets, like having some framed art up on the cabinets on the wall that you can't really do anything with. I could totally see these like little minis like stacked on top of each other. That would be so cute. They turned out so cute. I will, Ziggy, I will. Yes, absolutely, Jerry. Just check out my YouTube. It'll be there probably later tonight. And as far as what time tonight, Chelsea and I will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be teaching something with watercolor in tutorial style. So it's not really a product. It's really like she's going to teach me how to paint something. I'm going to teach her how to paint something. And you should bring paints and paper and brushes because that's what that time is meant for. We try and do this every Monday night for me and Tuesday morning for her because she lives in Australia. So, all right, my friends, lovely to see all of you. Lovely to hang. If you have any questions, just DM me. I'm around. Don't DM me if you're going to NFT me. I'm just going to ignore it and delete it. And yeah, that's it. So love all of you. I will see you tonight. Thanks for hanging. Bye, guys.